Ever wondered what life was like in the last great Persian Empire before Islam swept the region? I'm talking about the Sasanian Empire, also called the Neo-Persian Empire, which ruled from 224 to 651 CE. Let's break down its geography and society. No confusion, just the real story. First up, geography. At its peak, under King Khosrow II in the early 7th century, the Sasanian Empire covered a vast chunk of the ancient world. To the west, the empire butted right up against the mighty Byzantine Empire, think Eastern Rome, across Syria, parts of Anatolia, and Egypt. The Red Sea was nearby, but aside from a brief spell in Yemen, the Sasanians didn't control much of the Arabian Peninsula. Their heartland was Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, with Ctesiphon as their glittering capital. On the east, the Sasanians faced off with the Kushans, the Hephthalites, and later the Turks of Central Asia. Their borders stretched into what's now Afghanistan and even parts of Pakistan. Turning south, they dominated the Persian Gulf Coast, with some influence over Oman and Bahrain and sometimes Yemen as a vassal. The Arabian Sea opened up rich trade routes with India, but the deep deserts of Arabia mostly stayed independent, full of their own tribes and stories. Head north, and you hit the Caucasus, Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, forever a frontier zone, hotly contested with Byzantium. Beyond that, the wild steppes of Central Asia, where nomads always threatened the borders. So, what about the people who lived in this empire? The Sasanian state was highly centralized. At the top sat the Shahanshah, the king of kings who claimed divine right to rule, a Zoroastrian concept called Wara. Under him, powerful noble families and priests, the Wazirgan and the Mobads, ran the show, controlling land, taxes, and the courts. The empire was split into provinces called shars, each run by a governor or a border general. Religion was serious business. Zoroastrianism wasn't just a state religion. It shaped law, culture, and power. Fire temples dotted the landscape, and priests wielded real influence. But it wasn't all Zoroastrian. Christians, Jews, Manichaeans, and Buddhists lived across the empire, sometimes tolerated, sometimes watched closely. The economy was all about agriculture, boosted by clever irrigation systems called qanats. The Sasanian elite also cashed in on Silk Road trade linking Rome and Byzantium to India and China. Cities thrived. Ctesiphon, Istakhr, Susa, Nishapur, centers of art, learning, and commerce. Militarily, the Sasanians were known for their savara and their elite heavy cavalry, like ancient knights. They fought ceaseless wars with Byzantium for control of borderlands, especially Syria and Armenia. But by the 630s, after decades of war, their defenses were shattered. Arab-Muslim armies swept in, and by 651, the empire was no more. But its legacy? Massive. Sasanian culture shaped the Islamic world. Its art, government, and even its language lived on. So if you want to understand the roots of Persian civilization, the Sasanian Empire is the place to start.